Halo players, it is I, Mdama, and in today's video I am going to be doing my first ever Q&A, answering the questions that you guys have all asked me. I just want to start this off saying 3,000 subscribers means the world to me. Thank you guys for everything. The Mdama empire grows slowly but surely. The great journey awaits. Let's get straight into the video. So for our first question, it is asked by the Flaming Dragon. So how did I get the name Mdama? And really, a lot of people think it's really after Dual Mdama, in which it kind of is, but towards the end of Halo 5, I didn't really know where Halo was going, and I didn't know if I wanted to kind of stick with it, you know, at least content-wise. I wanted a name that started with the letter M because both my first and last name personally start with M, and I wanted it something Halo-related, just in case if I ever blew up or something like that and somebody wanted to ask me where my name came from. I wanted it to have roots within Halo, so why not choose it off of a character who's obviously never gonna show up in the Halo games again, Dual Mdama. So that would be something easy to build off of, kind of hijack the name, and a lot of people didn't really know of him, so it was kind of, like I said, easy to hijack. And to be honest, the name, it just sounds cool. It's something simple, short. I know a lot of people pronounce it Mdama, but I pronounce it Mdama. I think it sounds better that way, and I don't know, I think it's just really cool. Like I said, I wanted to start making content. I wanted to have a name that started with the letter M and related to Halo, so boom, Mdama. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Dual Mdama's story was actually pretty cool. The fact that he had his own remnant faction kind of reminds me of what I'm doing here. Obviously, in the Halo community of YouTube, you have the main, you know, UNSC, Banished, which are technically like the bigger creators. If you want to look at like Mint Blitz, Hidden Xperia, then you have like Dual Mdama's faction, which is something really small, but they're getting momentum pushed up, which is kind of like the channel, you know what I'm saying? The whole Mdama name did come from me wanting something starting with the letter M, obviously still relating to Halo and unique, so why not Mdama? Forgotten Shadow did ask, when was your first time you played Halo and how did it go, like reaction wise? Well, the first time I played Halo was around 2007 2008 when I got Halo 3 for the first time. I was only in first grade, obviously my first ever Xbox 360 as a Christmas gift, and then I had a family member who I guess was giving their Xbox games away, and they ended up giving me a lot of games, and one of those games ended up being Halo 3. You know, initially when I started playing Halo 3, it would be kind of after school. I remember it would be me and my brothers or me and my cousins, and the funny thing is obviously we'd have split screen co-op, so we'd all do that, but we didn't realize we could save our progress. So every time after school we would legit run it back from Sierra 117 and then try to see how far we would go throughout obviously our sitting. And you know, it was just super funny because I remember every time after school it just constantly be Sierra 117, you know, obviously kind of to the point where we kind of knew everything until eventually we finished it. I remember playing Halo 3 for the first time, and my initial reaction was just wow. Like, I kind of felt starstruck. Like, the opening cutscene to Halo 3 was just like a movie. Like, it immediately sucked me in. I didn't know anything about Halo at the time. I mean, I didn't know who the alien was that Master Chief pointed his gun at or anything like that, but I remember just being starstruck, like, whoa, what did we get ourselves into? Like, it felt like we were on like a foreign, you know, planet. I know Sierra 117 took place on Earth, but it just felt like I felt starstruck. Like, you know, that one cutscene that goes,
when you first saw Halo, were you blinded by its majesty?
Blinded?
Paralyzed? Dumbstruck?
Yes, I was blinded by its majesty. That's all I gotta say. So 09mm13 official asks, your favorite Halo, if you have one. Mine is Reach. So personally for me, my favorite Halo will forever be Halo 3. It started it all. Obviously the campaign, the multiplayer, the forge, the customs, the theater, the customization, everything was just perfect about that game. And it kind of pains me to realize that we haven't had a Halo with that kind of overall balance since. For my next question, Souls asked, if you had to choose one Halo game to be remastered, what would you choose? That's a great question. I would love to see Halo 3 ODST remastered. I feel like the cutscenes, if they were made by Blur, would be super realistic. It'd feel like, you know, a sci-fi militaristic movie, and I'm just all for that. So my answer is definitely going to be Halo 3 ODST if you're talking about just campaign cutscenes. Falling Teapot asks, what was your first Halo multiplayer and how do you think it compares to the modern style? Well, my first ever multiplayer was Halo 3. I remember just playing custom games with my brothers or cousins, split screen, obviously smoking them on Sandtrap. But how I think it compares to the modern style, I feel like the modern style of Halo now is a lot more faster paced, which I guess is just now modern gaming itself. I feel like in today's time, Halo's multiplayer is a lot faster. Obviously, in Halo 3, Halo 2, Halo CE, we didn't have sprinting or anything like that, and the shots weren't hit scan, so everything didn't feel as direct. I don't know. I guess it just feels a lot faster, in my opinion. Major Gamer asks, if you were to come up with the next armor core, what would it be? Ooh, that's a great question. If I were to have an armor core or come up with an armor core, it'd definitely be based off of Sangheili. Obviously a Sangheili armor core, in my opinion, I think would be perfect. Obviously, since we don't have playable elites, but that's a topic for another day. But yeah, that's my answer. I would love to see a Sangheili armor core in Halo. Brendan Cativo asks, if you could change anything about Halo 5 story to improve upon it, what would it be? And how do you think your changes would affect Halo Infinite? Ooh, that's a good question. I would have honestly done it like they had planned it in the teasers for Halo. Obviously, if you guys didn't know, Hunt the Truth was this great, obviously, marketing strat for Halo 5, but turns out it was nothing like the game. I would have had it something like Master Chief going rogue, then Locke hunting him down. I feel like that would have made a way better story. Obviously, it would have left a lot of things unfinished with Jewel Mdama, obviously the Swords of St. Helios, Cortana and the Guardians. So I don't know. I guess it kind of worked out with Halo 5, although it being very but you know what I mean. 11 Mo asks, do you think dual wielding would be a positive and balanced addition to Infinite Sandbox? Obviously, every time I mention dual wielding, the first question that comes into play is weapon balancing. I think it could personally work out. In my opinion, I would love to have seen every weapon from every Halo and vehicle from the previous games, but hey, that's just me. What do I know? Web Platypus asks, if you could play one game that wasn't a Halo game for the rest of your life, what would it be? I think I'm gonna have to go with Minecraft. I feel like Minecraft's just one of those games where, you know, you could just play it forever and ever and ever and ever, especially with mods and how they frequently update the game, and you could play with friends and build anything and kind of do your own thing. I feel like Minecraft is the definition of a perfect game. If you're talking about just shooters, probably go with Call of Duty because that's always been my like secondary game to Halo. So yeah, my answer is Minecraft. Saucy Baka asks, do you plan on being the next Red versus Blue, or are you going for something different? And if you're doing something different, what are you trying to do, or what's your inspiration? That's a great question, Saucy Baka. In terms of Red versus Blue, like Machinimas, I don't think I'm going to be doing Machinimas. I think a lot of people like Halo Box Studios, I'm pretty sure the channel name, they're killing it with Machinimas right now. I love watching their content, but I don't think that's for me as of right now. But that could change, you know? Halo's a game where content can be made in infinite amounts. So who knows? To be honest with you, I'm trying to do everything Halo. I'm not trying to just do one thing. Obviously, I want to tap into Machinimas maybe one day down the road if that's my style. But yeah, I'm really just trying to be informative, spread some more positivity, trying to help the Halo ecosystem. My goal is to hopefully see a lot of more Halo creators kind of make content as I do, like Spartan on top, you know, talk about anything Halo related at the bottom with gameplay or cutscenes. I just want to see more people shine. I want to see the Halo community shine. And if everybody's making content, that means we're doing something right. But yeah, that's my goal. I just want to inspire other people to kind of create content that they love. And I love Halo content, and that's what I'm doing right now. So shout out Halo and its community. Iota the 9th asks, how would you feel about customization to the non UNSC weapons in Infinite? Honestly, I've been begging for this because, man, I hated the fact that when Halo Infinite launched, one of the 343 developers at the time, he's no longer here, said Halo will be a Spartan story and only a Spartan story. And at that moment, I knew it was just we weren't going to be getting playable elites, and the banished weapons wouldn't be customizable, which kind of sucks because I definitely want to see different colors within my energy sword like they have in MCC. I don't really understand why they wouldn't let banished weapons be customizable, but hey, it is what it is. Corbett Evans asked, how would you improve the Prometheans to make them more fun / fit the Halo game style? That's a great question. I hated fighting Prometheans personally. I think it wasn't necessarily how to kill them, but the fact that the soldiers would always teleport in Halo 5 right as you were gonna kill them, and it kind of got to the point where you knew they were gonna teleport. So it was kind of just one of those things that was like a big lead up to just That's a great question though. I'm not really sure. I can't really think of something at the top of my head on how to make Prometheans better to fight. Obviously, we already have some kind of Forerunner enemy with Sentinels, so I don't know. So Lord asks, which do you think would be cooler, a Halo version of What If or a Halo version of Star Wars Visions? Honestly, I love both of those shows, but because they weren't actual canon, it kind of just ruins it a little bit. Obviously, it's kind of like fan fiction. They're fun, you know, but I would want personally something like Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, something that's kind of in the canon, makes sense, more backstory, because Halo does need a lot more lore in the sense of, you know, animations, rather than have some fun things that aren't canon, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I just want to see more canon rather than fan fiction. That's just me personally. So Chaos Inho Pirata, hopefully I said your name right, asks, what is your favorite vehicle in the entirety of the Halo franchise? Every single one included, the ones in the main games, Halo Wars, and Expanded Universe. That's easy for me. I'm gonna go with the longsword. Seeing that thing in Halo 3 and Halo Reach with the Halo 2 blur cutscenes kind of just made my jaw drop. I've always been more of a fan of, you know, aerial combat rather than tanks and, you know, warthogs, so I'm definitely gonna go with the longsword. Hopefully we get a pilot one. I know they made mods on it in MCC, but hopefully we get to see it in game one day. So Wrath asks, if you had to choose about getting every cosmetic in the game or have elites come back. So I'm definitely gonna say have elites come back. Whether or not I play as an elite is a different question. But yeah, I know a lot of the community wants to see elites come back, so I'm gonna go with the elites. Tango Echo asks, which Halo game is the best in your opinion? Mine is personally Halo Reach. And 3, if you were to make a sequel to Halo Reach, what and where would it take place? I think Reach's sequel, which is Combat Evolved, was perfect, but if we were to alter it, I'm definitely gonna go with starting it in the beginning with Noble 6 alive in his cave. Just kidding, imagine, that'd be dope. I'm gonna have to go with June and Halsey surviving after Reach and what happens with them. Obviously, they definitely had a little adventure on their own, so seeing their adventure, kind of playing off that would have been super fun. Obviously, playing as June, surviving with Halsey in a survival type of Halo game would be super sick. But yeah, that's my answer. Fans of Goats ask, do you think Halo should change the Spartan co-op and campaign to be your multiplayer character? For Halo Infinite story, it wouldn't really make sense because obviously we were playing as Chief. But for another instance, let's say we were a Spartan 4 that survived the Infinity. Yes, I would love to see our multiplayer Spartan. Lore-wise, I don't think it would make sense because I'm pretty sure our Spartan is based on one of the members of the Academy. If we were somebody that survived off the Infinity and playing as them, I would love to see our character in campaign. NC Storm Chaser asks, should we get Reach female body types in Infinite? I feel like it's too hard to tell the difference between the current body types. I agree. I think we should definitely get more curves in your Spartan, if that makes sense. A little more, you know, curves. Shout out the curves. We love the curves. So yeah, let's get some booty in Halo Infinite. Levon asks, do you plan on making a series based on Halo like Red vs. Blue? I currently am not planning on making a series like Red vs. Blue. I have yet to branch out into the Machinima style of videos. I seen Halo Box Studios doing something like that, and I love their content. But as of right now, I am not planning on doing any Machinimas, unfortunately. Maybe down in the future, who knows? Anti-Furry Chad, what a name. Which Halo enemy do you hate the most, and which one do you like the most? That's a great question. So obviously I kind of mentioned this earlier in the video. I hate soldiers. They just teleport right as you're gonna die and it pisses me off. But as for the one I love the most in terms of gameplay, I love the Grunts because they're just the easiest, you know? Tap in the head, confetti comes out. What more could you want? You know what I'm saying? So True Chaos asks, do you think the respawn time in Halo Infinite should be shortened to 3 or 5 seconds? 10 seconds just seems way too long. I think depending on the game mode, it varies. 10 seconds could be a long time, but 3 to 5 can also be a little too short depending on the game mode because you can be spawn killed a lot faster. So I'd say 5 to 7 seconds is more the reasonable time to respawn in my opinion. Savitar asks, also one more thing, if you could choose one weapon to put back in Halo, what would it be and why? I'm for sure gonna go with the carbine. The Halo 3 carbine has been and always will be one of my favorite Halo weapons. Personally, I don't know, that's just my pick. The way it shoots, the way it reloads, it's just chef's kiss in my opinion. You Louvs asks, if you could add 3 helmets to Halo Infinite, what would they be? First one, I'm gonna go with my favorite all-time helmet, the pilot helmet with the haunted variation. That's gonna be number 1. Number 2, I'm gonna go with ooh, that's a great question. Let's just say EOD helmet from Halo 3 because it's just iconic. And of course, for my last choice, I'm gonna definitely say the Hayabusa helmet from Halo 3. I'm very much aware it's from a different game, so 343 doesn't have a license for it. But yeah, I think it'd be fun. It would work great with the Tenrai core. But yeah, those are my 3 picks. Braden Gilliam asks, do you think the EOD helmet should come to Halo Infinite? Yes, I do. I just said it. Foil Demon asks, should 343 make all chest armor colorable? I have mentioned this in a couple of my shorts, and I think they should should. Obviously, a lot of their new chest armor that they have been dropping has been colorable. I think this is just a little mistake they made when they started Infinite and, you know, realized that, hey, why does it look gray? A lot of these coatings don't look good with gray. So yeah, cool to see that chest armor is starting to be more colorable. Eric asks, how would you go about implementing playable elites into Halo Infinite? Would you make it an armor core? I would make it an armor core. I feel like it'd be the perfect armor core. Obviously, we already have elites in the game, and a lot of people like to complain about hitboxes and ranked and blah blah blah. If hitboxes and ranked are kind of broken, then just don't allow that armor core to be in ranked. It's a simple solution to a hard equation for, I guess, some of you. But yeah, I think it'd make a cool, fun core. Obviously, we already fight elites in the campaign, so just use those same hitboxes. I don't know. That's just me personally. Nathan asks, what did your first Spartan look like? My first Spartan from, let's say, Halo 3 looked like the Master Chief. Obviously, first grade me wanted to look like the Master Chief, be the Master Chief, because the Master Chief is still him. You know what I'm saying? He's that guy. He's the most badass character in Halo, face of Halo. So yeah, it definitely looked like Master Chief. Spartan Soder asks, what's your favorite kind of weapon? A single shot burst fire or full auto? I've always been a full auto type of guy. My saying in Halo 5 was you can't spell mark without AR, because I did refer to myself as the AR god. So yeah, that's my saying. Copyright it. Spartan Ira or Lyra asks, do you think they are bringing the MA5K as a weapon mod? I hope that they do. I think the more weapon mods in Halo Infinite, the better. Baboom asks, do you think 343 should add more OG weapons into Halo Infinite? I do. I think they should bring back every weapon from every single Halo game and, you know, just elevate the sandbox. Obviously, some weapons will be kind of broken and they would have to fix this with balancing, but hey, I think that's the point of the name. Halo Infinite. Infinite possibilities, infinite weapons, infinite anything, infinite fun. You know what I'm saying? That's my take on it. Halo the Arbiter asks, if you had to choose what is better, Halo 5 multiplayer gameplay wise and Halo Infinite gameplay wise? That's a great question. I think Halo 5 mechanically was one of the best games I've ever played. Halo wise, I don't think it was the best Halo, if that makes sense. I think Halo 5 was super fun. Gameplay wise, I'm gonna have to go with 5 versus Infinite in multiplayer. I think Infinite and its desync is just holding the game back, and I just, you know, it just feels very limited compared to Halo 5's movement. Obviously, Halo Infinite has equipment, but I just don't think it compares to Halo 5's thruster and all that stuff. Steel Cool asks, what are your gun/vehicle core loadouts? I'm not really too sure what you mean by gun/vehicle core loadouts. Like, what are my go-tos, I guess? Honestly, I like to feel very versatile in the battlefield, if you know what I mean. I pick up anything, whether it's a pulse carbine or a needler or the BR or AR. I like to shred with everything. As for vehicles, if it's not necessarily a ghost or a wasp or a tank or a scorpion, I'm not really picking it up. I'm rarely on mongoose unless I'm trying to get to point A to point B faster. So yeah, I'm not sure if that answers your question, but yeah, more versatile, no loadouts here. Hugh Michael asks, would you be open to Halo collaborating with other brands like Star Wars for special skins or other customizable options? I would, if they stay intact with Halo, if that makes sense. Don't be like Call of Duty where I see a Snoop Dogg skin running around, because to me that just doesn't make sense. Obviously, just don't do something for a cash grab. Do it for your community, do it for your audience, do it for the players rather than just something random, if that makes sense. I'm not opposed to fun things in Halo Infinite, like for example, I love the cat ears, but to have a random, you know, character that has no sense within Halo, it's just kind of a to me. But yeah, that's my answer. So Benjamin asks, would you do a Halo tournament for the viewers? 100%. Maybe down the road, I am going to be doing giveaways, tournaments, all that cool stuff. But yeah, stay tuned for more Halo content because, man, Lord Mdama is on his way. Earbloss asks, what's your opinion on human and alien relationships? I'm all for it, man. Love is love. Marcus asks, do you think that June from Halo Reach should be somewhere in the story? I think he should. Obviously, I'm pretty sure he's in charge of the Spartan 4 program, and I'm pretty sure he didn't die when Cortana blew up like all those Spartans. So seeing him return would be huge for Halo, especially a little callback to Halo Reach. And obviously, the people who love him will enjoy him and appreciate him. Fortune the Teller asks, do you think Halo 4 would have been better received if they introduced the new art style more naturally? Yes, maybe. I think Halo 4's art style was just a huge downgrade in my opinion, and I think it held it back to what Halo 4 could have been, especially the campaign. A lot of people love Halo 4's campaign, but I feel like it just didn't really look like the Halo we knew, so a lot of people didn't care whether it was a good campaign or not because it didn't look like Halo. I don't know, that's just my take on it. Nathan asks, based on the storyline so far, how do you think Halo 6 storyline will play out? I think they could do this numerous ways. Personally, for the next story, I don't want to see Master Chief in it. I think 343 has a lot of questions to answer within everyone else in the universe, like what happened to the Infinity? Where is everyone else? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we already did kind of get an update with Arbiter and Vale in this new book, but yeah, I just want to see a story based on what happened with everybody else that was on the Infinity or the Spirit of Fire crew. Halo Wars 3 would be also sick. That's just my opinion. Wasp117 asks, if there was a new vehicle that you could ever add, what would it be? Falcon not included. I'm gonna go with the Shroud from Halo Wars 2. I think having a vehicle that could, you know, cloak itself would just be super sick in my opinion, or display some kind of cloaking field. I don't know. I feel like gameplay wise, we have never seen anything like that, so having that would be amazing. And Rage Zella asks, favorite member of Noble Team? That's easy for me. I'm gonna go with Carter. I always love Carter. I think him being the leader of the group, especially that versatile group with different personalities and different specialties, was super sick, especially how his death planned out and really how he looked as a Spartan. I think he was just super badass, and he was definitely my favorite member of Noble Team. Charles Gibson asks, what's your opinion on the Mauler from Halo 3? Well, that's easy. I want it to return to Halo Infinite. I love the Mauler from Halo 3, especially the fact that you can dual wield it. So hopefully we see it return. It did work like a mini shotgun. A lot of people don't want it back because they compare it to the Mangler, which is funny because they're nothing alike. One is just a brute revolver, the other one's a brute shotgun pistol, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, hopefully the Mauler returns. That's just my take on it. Soder Ali asks, who's your favorite character in Halo and why? I'm gonna go with Artis Vadum, the White Elite from Halo 2, Halo 3, the Shipmaster, the man himself. I just think he just looks so badass. Obviously leading the Shadow of Intent, he was just a badass character. Him and his sword, obviously just how he looked, his voice, everything about him. He's always been my favorite Halo character, and yeah, hopefully we see him return. I would love to see him return for sure. Gray Storm asks, do you think Halo could be saved? Of course man, we've been through so many dark times. When people say Halo's dead, I don't think Halo's ever gonna die. We always have a small group of core people that are still here playing, making videos, you know, showing love. And as long as we continue to love Halo, it's not going anywhere, no matter how bad of a state it's in. You know what I'm saying? So yes, Halo can be saved. So Saw Gaming asks, if you could have one weapon from Halo, what would it be? It's gonna be the energy sword for sure. All-time favorite weapon for me. If we're talking rifles, it's gonna be the carbine for sure. I think it just looks beautiful. The Halo 3 carbine in specific. Mad Havro asks, what's your favorite game other than Halo, and will you cover it on YouTube in the future? Love your vids, by the way. Keep going. Yeah, appreciate the kind words, brother. Besides Halo, my favorite game definitely has to be Call of Duty. Will I be covering on the channel? Probably never. I think I'm going to keep this channel definitely strictly Halo. If I were to start making COD content, it'd for sure be on another channel. Maybe call it General or Sergeant Mdama. I feel like that'd be cool. A little spin-off to the Mdama brand. But yeah, Blaster asks, Grunts or Buggers, which do you like better? I'm going to have to go with Grunts. Like I said before, they're just the easiest, most funnest enemy to just put down, you know? Kind of feels bad because they're just so cute sometimes. Obviously not cute looking, but their dialogue is just super adorable, and yeah, I just love confetti coming out of their face. So Hidden Silent asks, how do I get better at shooters when I don't have all the time in the world, especially with school and sport? Honestly, I feel you. I work a 9 to 5. I get this. I think it's one of those things where, you know, you just practice the basic fundamentals, watch tutorials on YouTube. Personally, I've kind of felt like I've always been above average at shooters. Like I said, it's really just IQ and awareness, and you can't forget that some people just got it like that. Some people are just super talented, and I've accepted that I'm never gonna be obviously the greatest player in the world, as much as I'd love to be. But yeah, it's just one of those things where, you know, how bad do you want it? So some sexy guy asked, do you play any non-FPS games? I do not. I tried getting into Dota or League a few years ago, back I think during quarantine, and it just was not the same for me, you know? Sadly, FPS games are really just the only games I play for now, and in all reality, I'm really kind of only playing Halo as of late. Christian Williams asks, when did you first start ramping up your YouTube channel? The last time you and I spoke was 2018, which is absurd. Christian, you gotta hit me up, man. I need to know who this is. I can't remember you, but you gotta let me know. Message me. My gamer tag is Lord Mdama. Let me know who you are. But really, I want to say this year, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, just consistently making Halo content, doing what I love is always a fun thing. It's definitely one of my favorite parts of the day, so you know, why not keep at it? It's only going up from here. Deathshot asks, how can you stay positive in raising toxic community? Wow, it's simple. You just ignore them. You know, you gotta ignore them. There's always gonna be toxic in the world, especially in making content. Everyone's not gonna always agree with you. Like, it is what it is. A lot of the times you really can't, you know, try to fight fire with fire, because it's just gonna lead to more fire. And you know, you just gotta be able to ignore it, remove it, block it. You can't fight fire with fire, only water. So water, that's all I gotta say to you. Just keep being you and don't let these people get to your head. The Meme Lord asks, if you had to remove one of Bungie Halo games, which would it be? That's a tough question, man. That's a tough question. I'm gonna have to go with Halo. This is gonna be the hottest take. I think the people will kill me for this one. I'm gonna say Halo 2. Oh my god. I never played Halo 2 growing up, and in all reality, it didn't really leave that crazy of a mark to me. To this day, gameplay wise, I have still yet to play Halo 2's campaign. So Halo 2, that's gonna be absurd. That's probably my hottest take yet. It's not really a take. Actually, it might be Halo CE. So scratch the Halo 2 take. I know everyone was already getting a dislike, so Halo CE. What do you hope is included with Firefight? I hope that we get to see Marines as the enemies, kind of play them as insurrectionists, fight them, kill them, you know. That'd be an interesting take on Firefight, seeing them fight alongside the Banished, because they do have humans in the Banished, so seeing that would be super cool. B-Man asks, what is your favorite Halo map? That's easy. Sandtrap. Always been my favorite Halo map to this day. Playing on it, perfect. I think Sandtrap is my favorite all-time map ever. I don't know, I just have so many memories on it. So yeah, Sandtrap for me. I don't really know how to say the name, so I'm gonna say L. L asked, how did your whole channel idea was invented? Well, really, I just wanted to start creating content. A lot of people do use personally their face for the front cam, top of the video in shorts, and I was like, why do that when I could just build upon my Spartan? You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to start talking Halo, show gameplay, really cover leaks or anything like that. So boom, that's how my channel was invented. Deathseeker asks, should Halo 5 come to MCC? I feel like it should. He is the Master Chief, and the MCC is the Master Chief Collection. As far as Rex go, I'm not sure how that would work, but yeah, I would love to see Halo 5 come to MCC. Dylan McDaniel asks, if the ODST program was real, would you join? I would, just to protect my loved ones and Earth. I feel like if worst comes to worst and the Covenant did attack, hell yeah, I would love to. It would probably be one of the most traumatizing experiences ever, especially knowing that you could die before hitting the floor as an ODST. But yeah, Titan Speakerman asks, what are your graphic settings? Ultra high, high on everything, you know? I'm not streaming or anything right now, so I can run it and my PC can handle it. So shout out my PC. ZK asks, how do you play Halo Infinite, and if it's alright to ask when you play? How do I play Halo Infinite? With my controller. And yes, I'm usually solo queuing 90% of the time, so if you guys ever see me online, don't be scared to ask, message, you know, hit me up, be like, Mdama, can I join? Because of course 90% of the time I am gonna say yes. So yeah, add me, Lord Mdama. ODST on the saxophone asks, what is your best Halo Infinite map? Ooh, that's a great question. As far as Halo Infinite maps, I don't really know. I think as far as BTB goes, I love all the maps, you know? Multiplayer wise, I like live fire. I feel like live fire is super fun in my opinion. So I'm gonna go with live fire. Vince Alexander asks, do you like Bungie or 343? I love them both. Bungie created the memorable times that, you know, were my childhood, and 343 is creating Halo now. Obviously, a lot of people like to pin them against each other when in all reality, 343 is kind of a Bungie in its own way. You know, it's complicated, but yeah, I love both of them. Jared asks, so why choose the armor? If you guys didn't know, I created a new video giving some kind of lore on my Spartan and how to dress like my Spartan, so you guys should go watch that. So yeah, this is gonna be my Q&A. Hope you guys enjoyed this pretty long video. Hopefully you got to know me a little bit more, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and you know, shout out the Mdama Empire.